The debate over hijab inside educational institutions rages on in Karnataka, and we are receiving reactions from all over the country. I have with me our Supreme Court advocate KV Dhananjay to give us a perspective here, along with a follower herself, Seema Mohsin. Seema, I'll start with you. Here is a debate over, in fact, a ban by the Karnataka government not allowing female students to wear hijab inside classrooms, saying that it ruins the dress code of the institution. All students must be equal inside classroom. You do what you want, practice what you want the outside. How would you receive this?
See, in India, what we are seeing of late is that the plural spaces are being shrunk. In education institutions, which we also have attended, and we had no problems wearing hijab. Hijab is not something that will distinguish us or make us something very alien. Those children, if you can watch them, they are wearing a full uniform and they are covering their heads with the same color dupatta which has been provided as a part of their uniform. So now, all of a sudden, the intolerance that is there and the the othering of the Muslim community that is happening in the country is an outcome of that these people are with so much of impunity are going around and talking this way. I think hijab is not at all an issue for anybody, just like how Bindi is not an issue, just like how the turban which the Sikh community men wear is not a issue. I don't think hijab also should be an issue. And our country is a very beautiful country because we have been living with this kind of pluralism from quite many ages. And we have learned to live with it. It is not something that is coming in the way of anybody else. So when the education institutions are imparting education, but robbing the students of their fundamental right is something that is not a very good sign in a secular democratic country of ours. That is what I'm saying.
Seema, stay with us. I'm going to cut across to KV Dhananjay, who's been very closely observing these developments in Karnataka. Mr. Dhananjay, it's a fundamental right, but it's not absolute. That's what the constitution says. So it appears that the Karnataka government believes that this is not part of decorum. They believe that students must be equal inside classroom, and why wear your religion on your sleeve? Inside class, you're all equal. Outside, you do what you want, practice what you feel like.
Well, if only the Karnataka government, which currently is with the BJP dispensation, would have taken assaults on minorities seriously, then you could have believed everything that they say in these matters. But you certainly, will have to connect this with what's been happening to the minorities and with the sense of security or lack of security that they've come to experience. Then you will see that this is a very disturbing trend. And this is really very mischievous because academically, there are scientists, adorned actually, well-accomplished scientists who happen to wear hijab to their labs. And they've in fact, they've worn a hijab when they go to receive some of these medals and awards and all that. So who is making a case that wearing of a hijab would interfere with academic discipline? That's really not the case at all. And the other aspect is the colleges and institutions where you will find these disturbances are institutions which have witnessed women wearing hijab for a long time. These are not institutions that were set up last month or last year. These are institutions that have been in existence for 25, 30, 40 years. They have witnessed continuous, tradition of many Muslim women wearing hijab. Now, if that has not been a problem so far, how does it become a problem suddenly? So you will see that somebody is trying to engineer all of these issues. When I say engineer, all I mean to say is the girls must have the freedom to do what girls before them have done. So freedom is the most important issue here. When they were stopped, they obviously had a right to protest, and I'm glad that some of them have taken their protest to the High Court. So you're not going to look at it in isolation. And Muslim women, or for that matter, there are many sects within the Hindus, many groups within the Hindu, religion, where women would want to cover their faces. There are, we had this discussion earlier. There are the Marwari women, and there are these Gungats, and all. People must feel free to carry on with their traditional costume. And the law that we currently have in Karnataka is the Karnataka Education Act of 1983. It explicitly says Every institution will have to be registered and recognized with the government of Karnataka, and every institution, be it government owned or aided or private unaided, has to ensure that there is no religious discrimination. And religious discrimination in this context means the freedom of those girls to do what girls before them have done over the last 25-30 years. That freedom being interfered with, that is religious discrimination. And if we had knowledgeable people sitting in the Department of Education, I'm very confident that they would have in fact returned to these institutions and warned them of withdrawing the recognition itself if they were to continue their resistance to hijab.